welcome student. My name is Swapna Singh and today we are going to discuss the rest topic of ANS, that is neurotransmitter and the drug acting on adrenergic system. Adrenergic drug that can affect the ANS. So first one is we talk about the we will discuss about the neurons. So two kind of neurons are there in ANS, cholinergic and adrenergic. So in cholinergic neuron, they all are preganglionic fibers of both sympathetic and parasympathetic divisions. Okay, preganglionic, that means the part which is before to the ganglia, which is comes from the CNS, that is known as preganglionic fibers. Next is all parasympathetic postganglionic. Okay. Next is few sympathetic postganglionic fibers like sweat gland, all somatic fibers to skeletal muscle. This is all are the cholinergic neurons. Next is the adrenergic neuron. So adrenergic neuron, most sympathetic postganglionic fibers release norepinephrine that are noradrenergic or simply adrenergic in nature. Some peripheral sympathetic fibers release dopamine, that is known as dopaminergic, and the adrenal medulla, a modified sympathetic ganglion, receives sympathetic preganglionic fibers and release epinephrine, that is 85%, and to a lesser amount norepinephrine, that is 15% into the blood. So this is all about the adrenergic neuron. Next is receptor types. So two kinds of receptor are there because AN is divided into two parts, parasympathetic and sympathetic. So they both contain their own receptor. So first we talk about parasympathetic nervous system. So parasympathetic nervous system or parasympathetic is also known as cholinergic system. So cholinergic system contains some cholinergic receptor. Two kinds of cholinergic receptors are there. First one is muscarinic and second one is nicotinic receptor. And the muscarinic receptor we further classified into 5 types, M1 to M5, that means M1, M2, M3, M4 and M5. And nicotinic receptors are further classified into 2 categories, NN or NM. Okay, what are they? We will discuss in later. Next is sympathetic. So sympathetic is also known as adrenergic system. So adrenergic system contains some adrenergic receptors. So there are 3 kind of adrenergic receptors: alpha, beta and dopamine. So alpha is further classified into 2 categories, alpha 1 and alpha 2. Beta, beta 1, beta 2 and beta 3, and dopamine, D1, D2, D3, D4 and D5 receptors are there. Next is location of muscarinic receptor. Muscarinic receptor is present in parasympathetic or cholinergic system. So these receptors have been found on ganglia of the PNS. The ganglia present in nerves, so at that place it is located. The autonomic effector organs: heart, smooth muscle, brain and exocrine gland. So autonomic these all organs that are autonomic effectors of next is M1, M2, M3. So M1 is present in gastric parietal cell. M2 receptor is present in cardiac cell, that means in your heart and smooth muscles, and M3 receptor is present in bladder, exocrine gland and smooth muscles. Neurons, all the 5 subtype, that means from M1 to M5, these all 5 subtype of muscarinic receptor have been found on neurons. Next is M1, M3 and M5. If we talk about the mechanism of acetylcholine signal transduction, so M1, M3 and M5 that interact with G protein coupled receptor and designated GQ, which in turn activates the phospholipase C. This is an enzyme. This leads to the hydrolysis of PIP2 to yield IP3, that means inositol triphosphate, and DAG, that means diacylglycerol, which cause an increase in intracellular calcium ion. So this cation can then interact to stimulate or inhibit enzymes or cause hyperpolarization, secretion or contraction. So this is the mechanism of action of acetylcholine signal transduction in M1, M3 and M5. And if we talk about M2, so M2 stimulates a GI that inhibits adenylyl cyclase, it is an enzyme, and increase the potassium conductance. Next, these all are the mechanism of acetylcholine transduction. If we talk about M1, that is neural. See, agonist and antagonist, two things are there. Agonist, that means nerve impulses reaches to the organs, and they show their positive action. So that is known as agonist. And antagonist, that means if they show opposite action, or that if they can penetrate that biological effect, so that is known as antagonist. So M1 receptor, they show agonist action. How agonist action? They increase the IP3 DAG pathway, they cause depolarization, they will decrease potassium conductance. So mostly they are excitatory in nature, and decrease of M1 activity in CNS may be cause of dementia. Dementia is a syndrome where human can lose their memory, start to lose their memory, or you can say that is forgetful. Okay, M2 is present in cardiac. It also shows the agonist action. It is GI type of yeah, it stimulates the GI, and decrease the cyclic AMP, decrease the calcium channel, and increase the potassium conductance. So because of this, it is mostly inhibitory in nature, and mostly M2 receptor is responsible for the vagal inhibition of the heart. Okay, M3, it also shows the agonist action, and mostly this is excitatory kind of receptor. They increase IP3 DAG pathway and increase the calcium channel. Um, Stimulation of glandular secretion, contraction of visceral smooth muscles. Next is nicotinic receptor. So nicotinic receptor, there are two kind, NN or NM. So location of nicotinic receptor in CNS, adrenal medulla, autonomic ganglia, and neuromuscular junction. Mechanism of action of nicotinic receptor, this is ligand gated ion channel, and it is binding of two acetylcholine molecule elicits a conformational changes that allows the entry of sodium ions and resulting in the depolarization of effector cell. And nicotine initially stimulates and then blocks the receptor. So this is the mechanism of action. Nicotinic receptor are ligand gated ion channel, muscarinic receptor, that are the type of G protein coupled receptor. Nicotinic receptors, they bind to acetylcholine molecule, and conformational changes are there, and that allow the sodium entry of sodium ion. So because of that, depolarization start of effector cell, and it also initially it stimulates the receptor and then they block the receptor. This is the mechanism of action for M1 and M3. This is GQ coupled receptor, and they increase the DAG and IP3 pathway, because and after that they increase the intracellular calcium. M2 receptor, they are GI coupled receptor. They decrease the adenyl cyclase and decrease the cyclic AMP, adenosine monophosphate. NN and NM, then no second messengers, and it is ligand gated ion channel type of receptor. It causes the opening of sodium and potassium channel. Next is adrenergic neurotransmitter. That means the sympathetic nervous system that contain the neurotransmitter, which is known as adrenaline and noradrenaline. So the impulses transmission that is mediated by norepinephrine from postganglionic sympathetic nerve terminal and CNS, dopamine from CNS, and epinephrine from adrenal medulla is in general called as adrenergic transmission. So all these transmitters are also called as catecholamine. Catecholamine, that means it contains norepinephrine, epinephrine and dopamine are endogenous catecholamines. Why? Because catecholamine ring contain a benzene ring which contain two hydroxyl adjacent hydroxyl group, and these three, I mean norepinephrine, epinephrine and dopamine, three of these contain catecholamine ring in their structure. That's why this is known as catecholamine. So they are sympathetic, neural and humoral transmitter substances in most mammalian species. Norepinephrine, it acts as transmitter as most peripheral sympathetic neuroeffector junction and in the CNS. Epinephrine, it is the major hormone released from adrenal medulla, and dopamine, it is believed to transmit impulses, information in specific area within the CNS like basal ganglia, limbic system, CTZ, that means which chemoreceptor triggers on which can initiate the vomiting, anterior pituitary, etc. See, catecholamine. It contains catechol ring. Catechol ring, that means it contains a benzene ring with two adjacent hydroxyl ring. Okay, that is known as catechol ring. Catecholamine, that means catechol ring contain amine group in their structure. So that this structure is known as catecholamine. It is always administered by IV and IV route or IM route. We cannot administer it by oral route. Duration of action is long. Next, property of catecholamine, it cannot cross the blood-brain barrier. Why? Because it contains hydroxyl group in their structure and blood-brain barrier. Only those drugs can cross the blood-brain barrier which is lipophilic in nature, but it contains hydroxyl group, it contains water molecule. That's why this is not hydrophilic in nature, and that's why it cannot cross the blood-brain barrier. Always give in the combination with antioxidants like sodium sulfide. Okay, why? Because hydroxyl group is present, uh, three hydroxyl groups are present, so they contain water molecule. So when we give without antioxidant, so it will cause hydrolysis. So because to prevent the hydrolysis, we use antioxidant as combination for the administration of catecholamine. Next, synthesis of catecholamine. So synthesis, first step for the synthesis of catecholamine, first step, that is synthesis of norepinephrine. Second, uptake in storage vesicle, release of neurotransmitter, binding to receptor, removal of norepinephrine, and metabolism of two enzymes, that is MAO and COMT. This is the pathway of first step in the synthesis of catecholamine is synthesis of norepinephrine. So synthesis of norepinephrine, this is the biosynthesis. This is the pathway for catecholamine. It is the precursor for the biosynthesis of catecholamine is phenylalanine. So from the phenylalanine, by using phenylalanine hydroxylase, by using this enzyme, it will convert into L-tyrosine. Hydroxylase, that means it contains one hydroxyl group added to the phenylalanine, it is known as L-tyrosine. L-tyrosine will convert into L-dopa by the addition of tyrosine hydroxylase. Again hydroxylase, that means addition of one hydroxyl group. This is the structure of L-dopa. L-dopa will convert into dopamine by the help of L-aromatic amino acid decarboxylase enzyme. Decarboxylase, that means the removal of carboxylic acid, the removal of carbon dioxide. So this carbon dioxide, CO2, will remove from dopamine, and this hydrogen will shift here to form dopamine structure. And after the formation of dopamine will convert into norepinephrine by the help of dopamine beta hydroxylase, that means addition of one hydroxyl group. So hydroxyl group will add here, and then norepinephrine will convert into epinephrine by the help of phenylethanolamine and methyl transferase enzyme, that means addition of methyl. So here methyl are added. This is the structure of finally epinephrine. So first step of synthesis of catecholamine, that means synthesis of norepinephrine here. First step, preparation or formation of norepinephrine. So after the formation of norepinephrine, the second step of synthesis, uptake in storage vesicle. This norepinephrine will enclosed in a vesicle form. So all these vesicles contain norepinephrine. After that, the third step, that is the release of neurotransmitter. When it comes to the end portion of this neuron, they will release from here and come to the synaptic cleft. This portion is known as synaptic cleft between the end of one neuron, and second the starting of, then it is known as dendrites, and this is known as neuron. So this is space between two neurons. This is known as synaptic cleft. Once vesicle is reached there, they will release the norepinephrine, and they next step they will binding this portion, this dendrite contains receptor. If it is adrenergic system, so it contains alpha 1, alpha 2, and beta 1, beta 2, and beta 3. Alpha 1, alpha 2, beta 1, and beta 2 receptors are there. So norepinephrine come and release from the vesicle, and this bind to this receptor. They show their action, and then they release from the body after the metabolism. So for the metabolism, two enzymes are responsible, MAO, and second one is COMT. MAO, that means monoamino oxidase, and COMT, that means catechol oxymethyl transferase enzymes are responsible for the metabolism of catecholam, norepinephrine. So this is all about the catecholamine. Next is storage, release, and uptake of catecholamine. So for the storage, catecholamine stored in chromaffin granule associated with ATP, magnesium 2+, and calcium ion. They released by exocytosis dependent and stimulated by cholinergic and beta adrenergic receptor, inhibited by alpha adrenergic receptor, and uptake, neuronal uptake of the hormone is necessary for conservation of the hormone and termination of signal. So this is all about the adrenergic neurotransmitters. So in next lecture we will discuss about the drugs acting, adrenergic drugs that can affect the autonomic nervous system. Thank you.